I'm going to be ranking every single MLB stadium on a tier list. Oakland Coliseum, F. They have some flooding problems. They have some rodent problems too. St. Louis Cardinals has a really nice view, nice skyline, a little arch in the back. They even have like a mini village between the stadium and some buildings. I think this is one of the more underrated stadiums in the league. I'm going to put this in S. Coors Field, at first glance, you don't really notice anything that jumps out too much, but they got some cool features. Like they have a row of all-purple seats that represents a mile above sea level. The bullpen is kind of cool. They got some like trees and water and rocks to represent kind of Colorado mountain vibes. And it sounds like they have some pretty good sunsets there too. I'm going to put them in B. Diamondbacks Chase Field. It's an alright stadium. I think the pool is definitely a very unique thing they have. It's a retractable roof, which makes sense because Arizona is super hot, especially in the summer. But it does make the stadium a little bit dark. I'm going to put them in C. Marlins Park is a solid stadium, I'd say. I haven't actually been there, but I've seen the outside, and it's very modern looking. I wish they still had the fish tank behind home plate. That's really cool. And they moved the fish statue that used to be in the outfield. They moved that to the outside. You got a bit of a view of the skyline, and there is a retractable roof, but it seems to be always closed. I think this is a fine stadium. We'll put this in C. Minute Maid Park, Houston Astros, pretty solid park. They got the train, which is super awesome. They filled it with oranges for Minute Maid. I love that feature. I wish they still had the hill in the outfield. The roof is also retractable here, which makes sense because Houston's super hot. This could go either like A or B. We'll put this in B. I think this be like B+. Chicago White Sox Guaranteed Rate Field. Apparently it's not a super nice spot that the stadium's in. They got some cool fireworks and like some candy things I think that spin in the outfield. Maybe if there's a home run or something. It's alright. It's not my cup of tea. Well, I mean, I guess I don't really even like tea. It's not my cup of coffee. Well, I don't like coffee either. We'll put this in D. Fenway Park, home of the Red Sox. This is an iconic stadium. Yeah, they have some bad seats. Some of the seats don't face towards home plate, and there's like some seats that are right behind metal poles. But there's the iconic green monster. I like the green walls everywhere with the red seats. It makes it really pop. I'm gonna put them in A. They manually changed the scoreboard, and the only other place that does that in the MLB is Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs. I like that they keep the old feel here. The outside sign's super cool, and I like the scoreboard here too. They got the nice ivy brick wall in the outfield. And something really cool that I don't think everybody knows about Wrigley Field is that in the outfield, there's like mini buildings that you can get seats on top of. That's a really cool feature. I love that. So I'll put the Wrigley Field in A. For the Royal Stadium, the first thing I think about is the scoreboard, which is the same shape as their logo. They also got some cool little sprinklers and like waterfall in the background. There's not much of a backdrop, but I mean, I think it's a solid stadium. We'll put this in C. Citi Field, home of the Mets. Cool feature they have is the apple pops up whenever the Mets hit a home run. The outside's kind of cool. It kind of looks like the Coliseum, and the walls are nice blue and orange to match their colors. We'll put this in B. Brewers Stadium, no longer called Miller Park. Two things I think of when I hear the Brewers Stadium is a slide and darkness. The roof does open sometimes, but the stadium just always seems a little too dark in there. But yeah, the slide's a cool feature. It does look pretty steep, but I mean, I think this is a fine stadium. We'll put this in C. PNC Park, home of the Pirates. This is a crazy stadium. I love the background. It's so nice. The yellow bridge with the water and the buildings, it goes so well together, and it even matches their uniform colors. Yeah, this is an S tier. Cleveland Guardians Progressive Field. This is a decent stadium. They got some buildings in the background. Nothing really blowing me away. It's pretty standard, I'd say, but it's solid. I'll put this in B or C. We'll do C. Rogers Center is also pretty solid, home of the Blue Jays. Blue seats look really nice with the Blue Jays uniforms. They even got a hotel that you can watch games from, which is a really cool feature that you don't see anywhere else. There's a nice view of the CN Tower, which is super cool. I know not everybody loves the dome shape, but I think this is one of the more underrated stadiums. It's not actually too dark whenever they close the roof. They have some upgrades which look a lot better. We'll put this in B. B or C, but we'll go with B. Dodger Stadium, they have a solid background too. Palm trees and mountains. If you look on the other side, there's like a skyline of LA, but you don't really get to see that. I think this is a good stadium. We'll put this in A. Texas Rangers Globe Life Field. This is the newest stadium in baseball. It's hot, so they need a roof, but I kind of like their old stadium a little bit better, just looks-wise. It's a little bit dark in there, and I find the TV angle always looks really weird in this stadium. But I mean, it's still a really nice stadium, but we'll put this in C. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of these rankings so far. If you disagree with me, that's totally totally fine. Just be respectful and actually tell me why you disagree. I said that now because this next one might be a little controversial because I think the Yankee Stadium is a tiny bit overrated. Now, the outside's cool. It's cement, and they got a cool monument park with retired numbers out in the outfield. But I don't see there anything crazy special about this stadium. B or C. I'll go C. If you disagree, that's fine. T-Mobile Park, home of the Mariners. They got a retractable roof too, but it's open air, so like air can go through the insides or whatever. I think that's a cool feature, just enough to keep the rain out. I think this is a nice stadium. Got a little bit of a view of the city. We'll put this in B. Comerica Park, home of the Tigers. For starters, this is a really big field. I like that they have some tiger statues on the outside and on top of the scoreboard and stuff. And they have some cars hanging up to represent Motor City, as well as an ivy wall. I think this is a solid stadium. We'll put this in C. Padres Stadium. A cool feature I don't know if everybody knows is that in left field, that little building there, that was there before the stadium existed, and they ended up building onto it. Super cool. They even have like some kind of beachy San Diego rooftop vibes there. Yeah, just a really nice city in general. Got some buildings in the back. I like this. Let's put this in A. Target Field, home of the Twins. I think this is a nicer stadium than I thought, just looking at the pictures of it. You know, they have some buildings in the background. I like the Twins shaking hands sign. B or C is probably fair. I'll put this in C, though. Orioles Park at Camden Yards. Nice stadium. Nice little background, too. The building in the back used to be a warehouse, but now they use it for team offices. I don't like that they moved their outfield back more, but I'd say this is still an A. Now, I almost went to Nationals Park a few years ago, but then there was like riots going on or something, so we didn't end up going. But I think this is a decent stadium. Nothing too crazy. Pretty solid. We'll put this in C. Citizens Bank Park, home of the Phillies. Pretty solid stadium. You can see a little bit of the skyline in the background. I like the bell they have going on there. Got some trees too. Pretty decent stadium. We'll go B. Angel Stadium. I think my favorite part is the rocks and like the waterfall outfield. There's some giant hats out there too, which is cool. From what I heard, the Angel Stadium's a little bit outdated, but we'll put this in C. I was gonna put the Brave Stadium at B, but then I found out that they have like a mini village going on there, which is super sick. If you have a mini city at your stadium with stores and stuff, like that's super cool. This is going in A, and they got a waterfall. This is a really nice looking stadium. Great American Ballpark, home of the Reds. It's on the water, which is nice, and it's hard to tell, but there's actually like supposed to be like a boat in the outfield. It's not that clear, but you can watch the game from there. I think, I don't know, it's a restaurant or a bar there. Pretty cool feature. Not that noticeable. I think if they made it look more like a boat, this would be a lot cooler, but I think this is a good stadium. We'll put this in B. Before I get to the last two, if you want to subscribe, that'd be pretty nice. Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays. Alright, for starters, something nice they have is they have a little tank of rays in the outfield. That's cool. The stadium's dark, which is too bad because I feel like stadiums in Florida could be so nice and bright, but they're dark. I mean, it makes sense. It's hot outside. I hope they get a new stadium because some of the mock-ups look pretty cool. Unfortunately, Tampa Bay, F. And finally, San Francisco Giants, Oracle Park. Got McCovey's Cove. There's kayakers out there. If you hit a home run, they can go catch a ball, which is super unique. Got a giant glove and a giant Coca-Cola sign on the other side. This is the best stadium in baseball, S. And if you want to see my City Connect tier list, click right here. I'll pin the first comment that can correctly guess how many times I said the word solid in this video.